إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. I welcome all of you, and inshallah ta'ala tonight we continue reading from Al-Mulakhas Al-Fiqhi of our noble Shaykh Al-Allama Dr. Salih bin Fawzan Al-Fawzan Hafidahullah ta'ala. We're still going to read from the section of As-Salat, these chapters about the Salat. As in the previous class, we finished the pillars, Arkan As-Salat, and also the very important benefits we learned precisely the last class about if you miss a rukn. Who can remind us? Or I'm going to ask some questions before we continue. First of all, what is the first pillar of as-salat? ما هو الركن الأول? عبد الرحمن. Standing in the obligatory prayer if able. نعم. القيام مع القدرة في الصلاة الفريضة. القيام مع القدرة في الصلاة الفريضة. نعم. What is the second pillar of الصلاة? جمعة. You raised your hand and you were looking at me. So. Huh? The second pillar. تكبيرة الإحرام. أحسنت. تكبيرة الإحرام. The third pillar. قراءة الفاتحة. Fourth pillar. العزيز. That's why you're sitting in the fifth row. Come in the first row. نعم. Ibrahim. Fourth pillar. Or go into ruku'. Second pillar. Usman. Quick, man. You need to have the answer like this. These are the salat. Naam. Fifth pillar. Al-Qiyamu min al-ruku'. Ahsant. Last one. Last pillar. Last pillar. Last pillar. أنت فين جالس هناك يا أخي؟ تعال هنا. إلياس. ابن عمي أنا يقترب. جزاكم الله خير. محمود أنت كذلك اقترب. يا أبا إلياس وينك يا رجل؟ حياكم الله. طيب. نعم. السجود هو ركن لكن هو آخر الأركان. Now, yes, you're right. Sujud is one of the pillars. But my question was, what is the last pillar? The last thing. Meaning, once you do that, salat is over. What is the thing that you do and salat is over? أنت. ما لا أنت فعلت. أنا ما أشوف هناك. I don't have mirrors, man. I see only here. If somebody wants me here, they have to come in front of me. نعم أخي. أحسنت. تسليم. تسليم or dhikr? Or subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. Which one is a pillar? Taslim? You're smiling, why? Taslim, now. My side mirrors are not working tonight, okay? So, if you want me to see you on the periphery, you gotta come in front, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. طيب. What if you miss a pillar? What do you do? Can someone miss a pillar or not? Yeah, we're human, we forget. What if somebody missed a pillar? What happened? What happened if you miss a pillar? Keep going, start all over again, give it $10. What is it? He says it depends. It depends on what? Ahsant. That's a good answer. It depends what pillar is because the rulings change based on the pillars. Okay, since you said that, give us a pillar. No, that's wrong. You agree with him? He said, if you miss the first pillar, تكبيرة الإحرام. Yunus, ما له Yunus? Are you, pinch him? إيش هذا يا أبا يونس؟ يونس مالك حبيبي? Maybe he's tired. Sleep time. نعم. إيه يونس، كيف حالك؟ خير؟ ما شاء الله. حياه الله. That's true, because now it depends on the pillar you're missing. Because if it's the takbirat al-ihram, if someone just start, they call the iqama Allahu Akbar, and the imam said stawu, now people they rank, and then the imam say Allahu Akbar. What's the people behind the imam should do at that time? No, they should make takbirat al-ihram too. Raise their hands and say Allahu Akbar. Not with the right voice, but they move their lips and fingers and tongue, I mean. But if somebody just standing right there like this, the imam making the rows, and he's already putting his hands on his chest, and then the imam say Allahu Akbar, and he didn't say anything. He didn't say nothing. That person didn't even start his salat. No salat. What if this pillar is, somebody give me another pillar, Abdurrahman. Give me a good one, because that's why I selected you. So one that we're gonna use it as ahsant, taslim. Shams. What if somebody forget the taslim? What they should do? Now you're there and you see your son, for example. Okay, your son, you watch him. He's praying, and then he's making tashahhud. And then he's like, my father, mashallah, good to see you. Then what are you going to say to him? Make the prayer over. Give me something easy first, not what he should do. What obvious? What can you say to him? Forget about now. We're not telling you what did he wrong, what he should do. What is obvious at that time to tell him what? Nah, that's not the obvious. What's obvious? Another obvious answer. You're getting closer. Make taslim and sujood. That's not obvious I'm looking for. Which one? Ahsant. That's the obvious. You tell him first, he says, hey, you did not make taslim. You did not make taslim. And then he's going to say, oops. Right? Or Jazakallah khairan, or I don't know, man. Stuff like that. Which all of these answers, they're not good. They shouldn't come from a Muslim, like, oops, I don't know, I don't care. La. Most definitely I don't care. So when they tell him, yes, you finished you didn't make taslim. Now this is how you're going to help him. If he knows what to do, he's going to go ahead and do it. But what if he doesn't know? What you should tell him? Shams said what? No, don't say it. It's okay. Sorry to put you on the spot again. Wait. What should he do in this case? Tell him to make taslim. Ahsan, that's the answer. You just have to make the taslim. Immediately make taslim and make the two prostration of forgetfulness. The same ruling applies on what other pillar? Tashahhud. If he missed the tashahhud. Alright, what if someone missed ruku'? He went straight to sujood. Naam Ibrahim. Go back where? Home or where? If he remembers. He goes up where? To the ruku' position. In what salat is this one? In what salat? Fajr or Asr? or Maghrib? كلها. أحسنت. Yeah. So what he do now? He go back to ruku' and then what? نعم هو كذلك. No questions. I'm asking questions right now. No. After this you can ask the question. So remember we says if a person remember in the salah, this is important, not after the salah is over. If the person remember while in the salat and while still doing something in that rak'ah, like for example he's in sujood and remember that he did not make ruku'. Now, in this case, so in this case, as long as a person did not start another rak'ah, start reciting in the following rak'ah, then he can go back to that position that he have forgotten or missed and do it and do whatever come after it. And in the end, he has to make 2 prostration and forgetfulness. With 1 condition. What is that condition? Something is missing here. I mentioned that. Something that I didn't mention. Well, he's in salat, he's still in wudu. Now you're talking about outside the salat. That's why I said, remember, he's in salat, he did not start reciting in another rak'ah. And what else? Abu Yunus? Ahsant. He did it out of forgetfulness, not on purpose. Because if he is on purpose, what? Salat is gone. Void. That's what I was looking for. Jazakallah khair. Now what if a person forgot a sujood and he didn't remember until he already recited in the following rak'ah? What he should do now? Naam? He's going to stop what he's doing and go back to sujood. No, that's wrong. Now, he started all over the prayer. You guys are just guessing or something? No guessing. If you know, you speak. If you don't know, wait for the right answer, okay? Especially if you didn't attend the class or you did attend the class and you didn't do your homework. Because if you attend the class and you just went home and forget about it, then so what? And especially this is like a weekly class. We don't do this every day. Even if it's every day, then in 24 hours we may forget if we don't review. What about if it's like how many hours in 1 week? 8 days. Huh? 192 hours. 192. No? Yeah, 8 times 20 is 160, and 8 times 4, 32, 32, and 160, 192. That's how you do the math. This is how I do the math. Anyway, tfaddal. So you know this is a long time. Tfaddal. What he should do in this case? Keep going. Naam, that's a good stuff. Continue that rak'ah. You start good, but then the finish was not good. Now, that's the same thing he said, and I told him he was wrong. Huh? But that's the same thing he said, and I told him he's wrong, so you don't repeat the same thing. Maybe you weren't paying attention to what he said. You heard what he said? And you said it again. You think I graded his accent? Is the answer. Naam, Abdul Rahman. Ahsan. That's the answer. You heard it, Fawzi? Well, what he said? The rak'ah that he forget that pillar, is void now, is cancelled. Let's say someone praying Fajr. How many rak'at in Fajr? 2. He's praying in the first one, for example. First rak'ah. And he forget ruku'. He went straight to sujood. But he didn't remember until now he's stand up and he began to recite Al-Fatiha. Then he's like, SubhanAllah, I didn't make ruku'. Then at that time, he don't go back to ruku'. Since he's already reciting, what he gonna do? Automatically, the first rak'ah is cancelled. Doesn't count from his salat. The one that he started now, somebody who's watching him is number what? 1 or 2? 2, but to him is what? Is 1. That's why somebody who's watching him, because now he's going to pray 2. When he finished, that person is going to say, Akhi, come here. Fajr is 2, not 3 rak'at. He says, oh, Jazakallah khair, you're right. You're right, I prayed 3. Or somebody nice, he's like, I don't know, Akhi, subhanAllah, but I think you prayed 3 rak'at. You were praying, Akhi, but you prayed 3 rak'at, right? He says, yes, you're right. So why is it? Because this and this and this, is it? Now, what about now if a person remember or he was told that he forgot a pillar after when he make taslim? He now, until now we were talking about if that person remember while he's in salat. Now this person finish, and then he remember. He's like, SubhanAllah, I didn't make ruku', I didn't make one sujood, or this, or I didn't recite Fatiha. What should he do in this case? Can he just say, Allah Ghafur Rahim, Alhamdulillah, I'm a Muslim, mashallah, I prayed for 20 years. Alhamdulillah. He says not going to do anything. Shaitan come to you at that time and play with your mind. Nah, I'm not going to do nothing. People are looking at me right now. Look at my beard, long beard, thobe, mutawwa. وبعدين I'm going to stand, make another salat. Somebody going to say, what do you do? Why I forget ruku'? Shame on you, forget ruku'. Nah, forget about it. Allah Ghafur Rahim. Can we do this? No. If that person can do that? Now, what should he do? See, that's why knowledge. Because when you don't have knowledge, Shaitan come and give us whispers, and we're like, oh yeah, Allah Ghafur Rahim, so what? I'm not the only one. Well, at least I'm praying. Some other people don't even pray. What this has to do with the price of tomatoes in China anyway? If you know what I'm talking about. What are people praying or not praying has nothing to do with me. That's them. They need to find out why they're not praying. And they need to make a tawbah and start praying. But see, the shaitan come to you at that moment. Especially, like I said, if I don't know what to do. But if I don't know what to do, at least I should ask. Ask somebody, Ya akhi, I just forget something. Now I make the taslim. What should I do, akhi? I'm sure I didn't recite Al-Fatiha in the fourth rak'ah. But I didn't remember until now. I'm sure I didn't recite. So what should I do? Now, if I am that person who attend the classes, alhamdulillah, now I will say, oh, mashallah, don't worry about it, akhi. This happened. Alhamdulillah, all you have to do is this and this and this. Because Sheikh Fawzan says, and we learn that, alhamdulillah, in the class, you see? Alright, so what the person should do now? No guessing, right? I know. What should he do? A person, after he make taslim, salam alaikum, salam alaikum, he began to say, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, then he's like, wait a minute. Got a problem here, I finished. Or somebody told him, he didn't make ruku' in the last rak'ah. What should he do? Naam, Hassan.
If he hasn't broken his wudu and a long time hasn't relapsed, should do one complete
Ahsant. And what after that? La. Adkar. Sujood al-sahw. In this case, that's what Hassan said. That's the right answer. If a person remember or somebody told him, and he's still on wudu, he didn't break his wudu yet, not a long time has elapsed after that, then he should stand up immediately, takbirat Allahu Akbar, make one unit, a full unit with the recitation of Al-Fatiha, ruku', the two prostration, tashahhud, taslim, and then he make the two prostrations of forgetfulness. What if this person didn't remember until after a while? Some time go by, or after he broke his wudu, what should he do now? No? Ahsan, you're right about that one. I give you that one. He should go make wudu again. If you don't know, just say, it's enough. Let somebody else answer, because you already have a good point. Allahu A'lam. Very good. That's what I'm looking for. Now, so you were right. You were right. He should go and make wudu if he broke his wudu. If he broke his wudu, of course he got to make wudu. And what did he do after that? No. He repeat the prayer. Ahsant. That's the right answer. He's not just going to do one unit right now. If he broke the wudu or a long time go by, one unit was not going to be enough. Okay? Remember? So now he has to do it all over again. No. And this especially happened to us as a grown-up. It could happen to our children. You know that they are praying or they are learning to pray, especially when they're 10 years old and that. Sometimes the mother, she watching the boy or the girl, and then she knows that they made a mistake, but then a phone call came, and the baby, I don't know, crying in the other room, whatever. She got busy, but later on, she's like, son, come here. Daughter, come here. You forget this. But now, she's like, well, I don't have wudu anymore. Well, go make wudu and do the salat again. Okay? All right, we'll get to your question. I already answered. Where is it? That's why I say, that's why it's alhamdulillah. Good. Jazakallah khair. Now, طيب. Any other questions pertaining to the pillars before we go to the wajibat? Any other questions? Something was not clear? Yeah. Well, when we mentioned sujood al-sahw, is always followed by the two taslim. Okay? Now, anything else? طيب. All right. Pay attention, inshallah. We're going to continue with wajibat al-salat. So salat have conditions, 9 conditions. Should learn them. 14 pillars. So 9, 14. Wajibat 8. So 9 conditions, 14 pillars, 8 obligatory elements or mandatory elements. واجبات الصلاة. الأول جميع التكبيرات التي في الصلاة غير تكبيرة الإحرام واجبة. فجميع تكبيرات الانتقال من قبيل الواجب لا من قبيل الركن. Now the first of this 8, all the takbirat that we make in the salat except for which one? Takbirat al-ihram. Why? Why? Wait, I'm talking to somebody already. Why is it? Because you like it? Somebody may like it. I like salah. Alhamdulillah. Why? You're right though. The answer is right. But why this takbir al-ula, takbir al-ihram, is not from the wajibat? Why is it? Because it's what? Naam? Ahsant, because it's in the category of the pillars. It's in the category of the pillars. Precisely what pillar? Second. Ahsant. وكذلك. Second. Now, So remember now, all of these takbirat. Who can give me the takbirats that we do, that we're talking about? Who can give me the takbirats? What are they? First of all, think about how many they are in 1 unit. All right, how many? 6, he said. Who agree with Abdul Rahman? Pillars? Takbirat. He said there are 6 in 1 unit. Not in Asr, on 1 unit. You? 14. No. Huh? 7. Including Takbirat al-Ihram. Why you include Takbirat al-Ihram? You don't put fish and bananas in the same bag. Look. You bought some bananas and then you bought some fish. You put them all and mix them in a bag. لا. Takbirat al-Ihram, we're talking about the wajibat. What are the wajibat? I said it. I said, what is those takbirats other than Takbirat al-Ihram? Okay, alhamdulillah. So now, how many they are? 6. So you agree with Abdul Rahman? You agree with them? You didn't count. Let's count together and we'll see. Okay, 6? Huh? 4. 5. I say 5. You got? 5. It's not time. You got 5. Okay. Yalla. 5. You said 5. Go ahead. Yeah, break it down.
So after reciting first
No reciting. What reciting has to do with that? No.
go to ruku, you say Allah.
Go into ruku. I know. Before you go ruku, you say what? Allahu Akbar. That's 1. All right? Rising up from ruku', Allahu Akbar. That's number 2.
Coming up from the first sujood into the first.
What do you say?
You say Allahu Akbar.
That's 3.
You say Allahu Akbar again before you go into the second.
No. 4. And then you say Allahu Akbar to go up. أي نعم أحسنت. لا ما تحسب كيف. والله أعلم خلاف بين أهل العلم. So if you count, look, this is how it is. Before you go to ruku', what do you say? Allahu Akbar, and you go ruku'. When you rise up from ruku', do you say Allahu Akbar? We don't. We say Sami'a Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. So when you go to sujood, what do you say? That's 2. You rise up from sujood, what do you say? Allahu Akbar, that's 3. You gotta go to the sujood again, what do you say? Allahu Akbar, that's 4. You rise up from sujood, what do you say? Allahu Akbar, that's 5. طيب. You see, the mirror is not working. الثاني التسميع أي قول سمع الله لمن حمده. You get away with that one, Ismail, because I forgot. قال التسميع. The second of the wajibat is what? التسميع. What is تسميع? When you say سمع الله لمن حمده. I don't know why the Sheikh mentioned it at 2 instead of maybe 4 or something. Anyway, we just go with the order of the Sheikh. To say سمع الله لمن حمده وإنما يكون واجبا في حق الإمام والمنفرد فأما المأموم فلا يقوله. The Sheikh says, and this is for the Imam or for when you pray by yourself. But if you are praying behind the Imam, you don't. You wait until when the Imam says سمع الله لمن حمده, you say what? ربنا ولك الحمد, which is, this is the third one that is called التحميد. التحميد when you say ربنا ولك الحمد, or to say Alhamdulillah. That's called tahmid too, but doesn't mean here, that's not what I refer to, that you can say ربنا ولك الحمد or Alhamdulillah. لا. Meaning tahmid is when you say Alhamdulillah or ربنا ولك الحمد. But in the salat you say ربنا ولك الحمد. You don't say Alhamdulillah. ربنا ولك الحمد. Because of the statement in the hadith that is agreed upon by Imam al-Bukhari, Imam Muslim, Prophet ﷺ says, إذا قال الإمام سمع الله لمن حمده فقولوا ربنا ولك الحمد. When the Imam says سمع الله لمن حمده, say ربنا ولك الحمد. الرابع, the fourth of the wajibat, is the statement of سبحان ربي العظيم. Where do we say this? Where we say سبحان ربي العظيم? في الركوع. أحسنت. In the bowing position. مرة واحدة. That's what you have to say. Once. ويسن الزيادة إلى 3. هي أدنى الكمال وإلى 10 وهي أعلى. However, you can say 3 times سبحان ربي العظيم, or you can even say it 10 times if you want. Okay? But if you're praying, for example, behind the Imam, and the Imam raises his head, you have to raise your head. You gotta say it at least once. But if he said Sami Allah Alhamdulillah, don't stand there and say, oh, we learned in the class 10 times. Imam is in the second sajda, you see it in ruku', Subhana Rabbi al-Azim 7 times. La. If the Imam raises his head, say Sami Allah Alhamdulillah, you have to stop your ruku' and follow what? The Imam. Now. الخامس قوله سبحان ربي الأعلى في السجود مرة واحدة وتسن الزيادة إلى 3. نعم, the Shaykh says to say سبحان ربي الأعلى in what? In what position? In sujood. At least once, but you can say it 3 times as well. السادس, the sixth of these wajibat, to say ربي اغفر لي. When do we say this, ربي اغفر لي? After the salat or after the taslim? Which one? After the sujood. أحسنت. Exactly, between the 2 prostrations. Once you raise up from the first prostration, you sit. That's a pillar. Some people, they just go like, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. They don't even sit or nothing. If they didn't sit, how are they going to say ربي اغفر لي? Huh? Now you have, when you say Allahu Akbar from the first prostration, sit. No rush. And you say ربي اغفر لي between the 2 sajdatain once. But it is the sunnah to say it 3 times. Say ربي اغفر لي ربي اغفر لي ربي اغفر لي. نعم. السابع التشهد الأول. From the wajibat is التشهد الأول, meaning in the salat they have 2 tashahuds. Like what? Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. And what else? Witr? Which witr? Huh? Just one. There's no 2 now. No 2. Always 1. Now. Yes. In the salat they have 2 tashahuds. Like Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. Okay? The first tashahhud, it is always after the second rak'ah. When you complete the second rak'ah, you sit for that tashahhud. That tashahhud is not a pillar. The last tashahhud is a pillar. Remember, the last tashahhud of every salah, it's a pillar. The first tashahhud in the salah that have more than 2 rak'at, then that's a what? A wajib. What is that tashahhud? Is when you say التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. This is the first tashahhud. When you say this, this is or from that which you learn from the Sunnah. This is one of the ways of the Sunnah to say it this way. This is the famous way to say it. But if you learn from authentic sources that there is another way to say the tashahhud, then you can say it, alhamdulillah. الثامن الجلوس للتشهد الأول لفعله صلى الله عليه وسلم ذلك ومداومته عليه مع قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم صلوا كما رأيتموني أصلي. The eighth is the sitting for this tashahhud. So the first tashahhud of the salat that has 3 units or the salat that have 4 units, the first tashahhud is wajib, min al-wajibat. Sitting for it, likewise, is from the wajibat. The same way in the pillar, the tashahhud that is a pillar, the last tashahhud is a pillar, sitting for it is what? Pillar as well. And because this is how the Prophet ﷺ prayed, and this is how he did all time whenever he prayed, and he said, pray as you have seen me praying. Now, so let's repeat. We have 8 brothers. Okay? You raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4 until 8. Naam, Hassan. First wajib from the wajibat. أحسنت جميع التكبيرات الانتقال إلا تكبيرة الإحرام. All of the takbirats except the takbirat al-ihram. نعم عبد الرحمن. Number 2. أحسنت saying سمع الله لمن حمده. نعم. Number 3. نعم ربنا. أحسنت ربنا ولك الحمد. نعم. That's number 3. Number 4. الله أكبر. نعم إلياس. I like that. You raise your hand and then think. Go ahead. What do you say in ruku'? ما تقول له ها في الركوع ايش تقول انت؟ خفف شوية من الفحص انت يا رجل. لعبت لك على دماغك انت فحساوي ولا سلتاوي؟ نعم. ماذا نقول في الركوع؟ What do you say in الركوع؟ سبحان ربي الأعلى. What do you say in الركوع؟ سبحان ربي العظيم جمعة. ربي الأعلى is in سجود. نعم. ايش نقول الياس؟ العظيم. سبحان ربي العظيم. That's the fourth. We say that in ركوع when we are still standing but our back down. نعم. الخامس حسن. Before that. نعم شمس. أي نعم. Saying سبحان ربي الأعلى in what position? In سجود. السادس. What is number 6? Saying ربي اغفر لي when or where? Between the two, when you sit, when you rise up from the first prostration and sit, then you say ربي اغفر لي before you go to the second position, the second prostration. The 7th one is what? 7th. We have only 2 left. And they connected together. Naam Ibrahim. Huh? Ahsant. Reciting the first tashahhud. The first tashahhud. What is it, the first tashahhud? Naam. Yes. السلام عليك أيها النبي علينا عبده ورسوله. أحسنت. بارك الله فيك. Good. That's the first tashahhud. And what is the last pillar? Last pillar now? Pillar. Huh? Saying Assalamu alaikum. Shit, Father, what are you talking about? Just, is he right? Is he right? Huh? Yeah, you're right. You're not right? But you're right, yeah, because I said the pillars. I want to see if you're with me or not. I did it on purpose. I didn't make a mistake. So the last pillar is the taslim. And what is the last wajib of the wajibat? The last one from the wajibat. Is it scratching your head with your left hand or right hand? Which one? أبو درداء الجلوس لماذا؟ لهذا تجلس للتشهد الأول. أحسنت. Now, to sit for the tashahhud al-awwal, that's from the pillars. Right? It's all the same. Pillars, wajibat. Allahu Ghafur Rahim, ya akhi. You guys just making ta'qeed. Pillars, wajibat, sunan, aqidah, sunnah, tawheed, bid'ah. It's all the same. Right? Right or wrong? Wrong? I'm wrong now. Astaghfirullah. After all of these years, you tell me I'm wrong? La hawla wa la Jazakum Allah khair. Naam, that statement was wrong. Not like we mix everything. Sunnah, bid'ah, tawheed, pillars, sunnah, and wajibat is all the same. No, they're not the same. They just not the same. Right? Now, we're taking them down. Where they were up, down. Yes, I take them down. If they are up somewhere, I put them down. I help you to put them down. No problem with me. Now, I thought you said down. Sorry. Now, okay, yeah, you have a question. تفضل. Between the rak'at. First of all, we don't say nothing about the rak'at. Between sujood, la, because this is what the Prophet ﷺ taught us. If you want to say Rabbi ighfirli wa liwalidayya, yes, you can, but when? In your sujood. Especially when you pray by yourself, that's a good thing. Now, in your sujood, you make dua for yourself, and especially for your parents, because the parents have a great right on us. Always make dua for them in your sujood, and not just in the salat. Even though in sujood is the best place to make the dua, because the Prophet ﷺ says, "Aqrabu ما يكون العبد إلى الله وهو ساجد." The closest a servant be to Allah in prostration. So you make a lot of dua in there. Now, yes. When you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, who you salamin? First of all, we do that because this is what the Prophet ﷺ did. Okay? This is how the Prophet ﷺ prayed, and this is what we do because he did it like that, and he said, "Pray as you have seen me praying." However, Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen, he says, yes, he says the hikmah that you give salam to the angels or to the people next to you, but this is not the reason why. The main reason is that we do it because this is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay? No. What else? Huh? I don't know. Mirror is not working today. Right. Now, تفضل إسماعيل.
Is it allowed to say Allahu Akbar when you go into sujood after your face is already on the ground to say Allahu Akbar?
No, this is from the mistakes of the salat. Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala, when he talks about this, he usually address as he goes some of the mistakes of the salat. Jazakallah khair. And the ulama, they do that too. But I just notice it in the classes of Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah a lot. He says that some people, whether be an imam or not an imam, what they do, they wait until they are in sujood and they're facing there, then they say Allahu Akbar. So that's a mistake. Because we just learn. What do we say in sujood? Subhan Rabbi al-A'la. That's what's legislated for us to say. So you're supposed to say Allahu Akbar before you touch the ground. Okay? As you go on, you say Allahu Akbar. But don't wait until your head is on the ground and then you say Allahu Akbar. La. Okay? No. No, he shouldn't do that. The Imam should not come up with ideas. Now, he's supposed to follow the Sunnah. As if he know. Look, it's good that you mentioned that. The brother, he says, well, some Imam may wait on purpose, right? And don't say Allahu Akbar until they are in sujood. Why? Because if they say it before that, people, they beat him to sujood. But the Imam, he wants to correct that mistake, not with another mistake. Yes, if he knows that or somebody told him or he noticed, because sometimes if you pray in Imam, sometimes you see with your corners of your eyes, it happened to me sometimes. You see people, you're not in sujood, they are already making sujood. But because they don't know. So how are we going to correct? No, he's going to say, he's going to go home and think, okay, I'm not going to say Allahu Akbar until I'm in sujood. La. He has to correct them. He tell them, Ya Akhwan, if any one of you that is doing this, he don't say, oh, those brothers that were praying right now on this, because they know who is praying over there. La. He is going to say it in general. If anyone is putting his head before the Imam, that's not good for him. Actually, the Sunnah is that you're supposed to stay up. As in the hadith of Al-Maghribee ibn Shu'bah, that he says, we, the companions, we did not used to bend or move our backs, go into sujood, until the Prophet ﷺ's forehead is already touched the ground. So for those who can see the Imam, those who don't see him, they go with his takbir. They hear Allahu Akbar, then they move. Because they don't see the Imam. Okay? But those who are right there behind him, they should wait until they see the Imam's forehead on the ground. So that's what the Imam should do. He should do what he's supposed to. He want to make sure that his salat is correct. Otherwise, he's going to invent and introduce in the salat something that is not from it. La. Innovations are not good in the salat. Okay? Or in any place. All innovations are bad. Kullu bid'atin dalala. Okay? But he continue to do what he's doing, but he teach the people, Ya Akhwan, do not compete with the Imam. Any Imam, I'm not talking about myself. I'm just happen that I'm leading the salat in here. Whenever you pray behind any Imam, do not precede him. Wait. And طيب هكذا إن شاء الله. نعم. Now, some of the benefits, or we continue with the questions? What are some of the benefits from the class? Now. نعم صلوا كما رأيتموني أصلي. نعم. Ahsant. If you're praying in Jama'ah, you do not precede the Imam in sujood. You have to wait. When he makes sujood, then you make the sujood. Nah. I know, you don't precede the Imam in anything, in matter of fact. Ahsant. In the Salat, right? Okay. That was the last class. But thank you for the reminder. Nah. English. That's what you just said. You mix Arabic and English. أحسنت. والعربية؟ أها. 14 ركنا. 14 ركنا. ثماني واجبات. أحسنت. نعم. Okay.
Some of the mistakes that the person is placed, for example,
أحسنت. We have to also stay away from certain mistakes. And that's going to be easy if we learn the Sunnah. If we learn the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, that's going to protect us from falling into mistakes. Now, what else? Ahsant, you're right. If someone missed a pillar, but he did not remember until he finished the salat and broke his wudu, that person now, this is what he do. He go make wudu and pray the salat all over again. Because he broke his wudu. He's not going to pray one rak'ah. Now, what else? Now, another benefit, Jumu'ah. Some people, they stay behind the Imam. Imam is already reciting Fatiha and stuff. They still in sujood. That's another mistake that the people shouldn't do. Jazakumullah khairan wa barakallahu feekum wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Muhammad ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.